Welcome to the JMJ Commercial Realty Podcast. Dive into market insights, winning strategies, and the stories shaping today's commercial real estate landscape. Let's get started.
All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of the JMJ Commercial Realty Podcast. I am Adam Schertzer here with the broker of JMJ Commercial Realty, Josh Cedia. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing well, Adam. How are you today?
Good, good. So, what is JMJ Commercial Realty for people just tuning in? Maybe you found us on Spotify or Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You searched around, you're looking for commercial realty, and you found these guys on here. So, let's let people know what we do and what we're all about.
Absolutely. So JMJ Commercial Realty is a commercial real estate brokerage company. We're based in Massachusetts, specifically Needham, Massachusetts, and focus on sales and leasing commercial space. So we cover different parts of commercial real estate, and we're also licensed. Currently, now we're licensed in New Hampshire as well.
Mhm. Yep. Yes, we are. At least you are. I'm still working on that. Maybe by the time you listen to this, I'll have my New Hampshire license as well. So with that in mind, why did we want to do this? Why do we want to start a podcast?
I think we've been talking about doing a podcast for a while. You've been with JMJ now for what, close to 2 years, and
Hmm.
um, it's I think just time that we try and do something a little different. There's lots of podcasts out there, lots of YouTube channels out there, but wanted to be able to share our experiences in the world of commercial real estate. And we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I know we go way back. Be nice to be able to inspire and educate other people and just talk about commercial realty.
Yeah, definitely. I know for me, when I first got started, I started listening to podcasts and listening to other people's stories, and it really helped me a lot, even in my short couple years in right now. So yeah, I think it'd be great to be able to give back. We can kind of talk about what we've done, what we've learned, some of the mistakes we've made. So maybe some new agents or even seasoned agents, can learn from that. So I think that definitely is one of the reasons why we decided to give this a go. And with that in mind, why don't we let everyone know, how we got started, what, individually, like, how did you end up here doing commercial real estate?
That is an excellent question, Adam. So for me, I've been in commercial real estate for over 9 years, and I started, for it was basically I went back to looking at my father being involved in commercial real estate for over 30 years. He was an agent, and he worked in the Framingham, Massachusetts area, some other towns and cities that he covered, but did a lot of work in Framingham, Massachusetts. And growing up, I saw a lot of the freedom and flexibility that he had. And it was really seemed interesting to me um, as the years went on, went in a different direction. I went in a different direction, studied computer science and was on the tech side of things. I had a short stint on the residential realty side. So I worked for a really small company doing residential rentals, and then I went to a larger company doing residential sales. It just wasn't something that was exciting to me for residential. I wanted that freedom and flexibility, but uh, it just wasn't the right path for me. I ended up then going to Fidelity Investments for about 12 years. And, my father had mentioned over the years it'd be nice for us to work together. And after Fidelity, I had a chance to join him and his partner for about 3 or 4 years. And then in January of 2020, I started JMJ Commercial Realty. So we're in our fifth year now, and it's been an adventure, ups, downs, and everything. But that's a quick
Hmm.
synopsis of me getting into commercial realty.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, I really love commercial real estate, and I'm glad that I had the chance to spend time with my father. But I'm very happy to be doing the type of work that I'm doing, and it's very rewarding in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
How about you?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, my story's, not the same, but somewhat similar as in not starting off, thinking I was going to go into real estate. Went to school for psychology, worked in mental health for a while, Then got myself a computer job working in a software company. Thought I'd be there for a couple years as I kind of figured things out. And 22 years later, I was still there. And then they decided that they didn't need me and my whole team anymore, got laid off. Um, I got my real estate license about 8, 9 years before that. I had worked with a guy at the software company who was doing residential real estate on the side and got interested in that, asked him a lot of questions, and he kind of helped me get going on the path towards real estate and getting my license. And so luckily it kept it active all those years. And then when I did get laid off, I don't know how soon it was, but it's probably like an hour after I got laid off, I gave you a call and said, "Hey, can I come work with you?" But we thought about it for a while. I still had some time left at my job to finish up, so I think it was 7, 8 months later that I started, working with you at JMJ Commercial Realty, and it's been great. I remember in the beginning, kind of setting up some of the goals, some of the questions of, 3 months, 6 months, a year out, kind of to see one, if I liked doing the job, if I could do the job. And I think that helped going back to those questions and and reviewing that, over time. Um, and just by doing the work, learning from you, kind of shadowing you in the beginning there, it was really interesting. I think coming into it, working in an office building for 20 something years, I kind of thought of commercial real estate as like, oh, it's just big office buildings, and I was like, oh, fine, it'll be fine. We'll go show office buildings, office spaces, and right from the get-go, working with all different types of businesses from, landscapers to escape rooms to, nail salons to, yeah, martial arts studios.
Quite
So
the range. Yeah.
yeah, so just the range and I don't think I really understood in the beginning, all the different types of people that would need commercial real estate. Pretty much any business, that needs a space for anything like that. So that part really interested me and getting to learn about these people's businesses and realizing that, we could help them further their business and then be able to support their families and grow and just looking at it at that point and that aspect of it, um which initially I hadn't thought about. So that was a big kind of turning point for me when that happened.
Yeah. And it's been great having you come on board. And, I know we've, experienced a lot of different things already just with some of these clients and different situations. But I think, you started off getting right into networking and being able to just be coachable and it's been great overall. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think let people know that they're watching, listening, that we go back 40 something years. Do we want to date it, date
I don't think
ourselves?
we need to date it, but about
It's
40
been a
something.
40 plus years of friendship. So, we've been pretty close over the years. We've always kind of done our own thing. But I think, for a while, we, always had that, at least idea in the back of my head. It's like, be great to do something together someday. And finally what do you want to say, the stars aligned or everything kind of worked out right, the right timing wise to give it a go. So, it's been great to, build on our 40 years of friendship and now have, 2 plus years of working together and hopefully, another 40 years of that. We do another 40 years?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we probably could do another 40.
Yeah, we probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the older side, but yeah, we could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you can do this job for, I don't know if I want to be doing this 40 years from now, but
I don't know either.
so with that in mind, like what do you, I know you said you love this job, you love commercial real estate, what are some of the things that you do love about it?
I love being able to help people and you know um, there's all different types of things that make up commercial real estate. So, like you said, it doesn't have to be office. It could be retail, industrial, land. Sometimes we're working with a buyer or seller or landlord or tenant. Sometimes it's a business owner who needs space, or maybe it's an investor looking for better returns and want to be able to have that in real estate. Sometimes it's a developer. So I like that it's every day is different. And I also like with commercial, I mentioned, briefly being in residential. Residential is so emotional, at least when working with clients. It's their largest purchase typically. And when you look at commercial, it can have emotion in it, but generally speaking, you're dealing with someone who, they need a specific location or a specific size, certain requirements, and either it works or it doesn't work. And I really like that. I tend to be more analytical. And so I like that part of commercial. And I also like that there's no limit to what you can earn. You can work with as many clients or as little clients as you want. It's really just a lot of that, as I mentioned, freedom and flexibility. And ultimately, I know from, over the years, been very entrepreneurial, as you've seen, and it's great to be in the world of real estate. And coming from Fidelity, working with mutual funds, stocks, bonds, to kind of go over to the real estate side and I think I have a little bit of a different perspective than maybe a typical commercial real estate broker or agent because of all my experience with Fidelity as well. But yeah, I enjoy a lot of those aspects. How about you?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said previously, getting to meet people, like I love the networking aspect of it, getting out there, meeting people and learning about them and learning about their business, and then, you know, trying to figure out the best needs for them if they come to me and say, "Oh, I'm a landscaper and I need, X amount of, land, and then I need a building, and then has to be in this location and within this area." And then taking all these pieces that they tell me and being able to go out there and find matches. Yeah, I find that part really interesting. It's almost like a puzzle you're trying to solve.
And
Um,
I think about that landscaper. Sorry to interrupt, but I was going to say I think about that landscaper example, and it's the one that I'm thinking of that that you worked with. It's what they were looking for a couple of years, maybe year and a half, 2 years, trying to find a space. And a lot of these clients will come to us, and they've been
mhm.
looking for a while, trying to find a very specific thing. I think it's rewarding when you're able to find that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, at least what I found, a lot of businesses, maybe don't know that they can work with a commercial real estate agent. Maybe they, have a residential real estate agent that they bought a house with or something like that, and then maybe they start with them, but find that they don't always have the same experience that we do with commercial property. Uh, and So they go out there and they start looking on places like LoopNet or Crexy, where anyone can go look by themselves. Um, and then, like you said, I think sometimes they get frustrated and realize that this is really tough. I can't find these spaces, and they come and work with us. And we definitely seen instances where, like you said, someone can look for a couple years, they come work with us, and within a couple months, 6 months, we might be able to find them a place. And in my short time here of 2 years, I, can already think of like two, three examples of that. Um, where people have been looking on their own and just don't have the resources that we do, either through networking or people we know, whether it be, other agents that we network with, that might have something that's not even listed. And
Absolutely.
so by working with us and the connections we have, it opens up a lot more possibilities for places for them.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
great.
I think I think that kind of covers it for episode one. I don't want to put too much out there for everyone to listen to, and we gotta, keep them wanting more, as they say. But as we wrap up here, what are we going to cover on this podcast? People tuning in to the next couple episodes. Um,
Yeah. Well, I think, we want to get to some of the basics of commercial real estate because we're not sure who exactly who's listening, whether it's other agents or business owners or just,
mhm.
people interested in commercial real estate. So, cover some of the groundwork of commercial real estate, some of the different ways that agents can help, and what happens in the world of commercial real estate. But we definitely want this to be interactive. And we have an email address that we've set up. So podcast at jmj-cre.com. So if you have questions, if you have ideas for, the podcast or the YouTube channel, let us know. And, our goal is to have weekly um, podcasts out there, and we'd love to hear from you. Anything you can
Definitely.
think of as well.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. So, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on one of the many podcast channels out there, definitely subscribe, ask us questions, post some comments, and we'd be happy to talk about some of the things that you bring up and hear from you. So, with that in mind, we're going to sign off, and we'll see you guys in episode 2.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on the JMJ Commercial Realty podcast are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of JMJ Commercial Realty or its affiliates. The information provided in this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, or real estate advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific real estate or business needs. JMJ Commercial Realty makes no representations or warranties as to the accuracy, completeness, or suitability of any information discussed. Reliance on any information provided in this podcast is done solely at your own risk. By listening, you agree that JMJ Commercial Realty and its representatives shall not be held liable for any losses or damages resulting from the use of information shared.